exciting moment to showcase what our housemates have in stock. Just to share with you, esteemed viewers. Don't forget, it's the maiden edition of the President reality TV show. And we have our housemates today to go through some papers to share with us what they've gone through based on current issues and happenings in the country, Nigeria. So today we have the housemates, and once they come out, they pick any of the topics based on the headlines that we glance through, share with us what this is all about and what we need to know based on this. We've had so many like the Punch newspaper, we have the Vanguard, we have the Guardian, we have the Censor, the local papers as well, the Someone, the Pilot, and so on and so forth. So, each of the housemates will be able to come have a seat here, share with us based on what they go through or they went through during the paper. It's called paper review for the maiden edition of the President's reality TV show. Let's watch out.
President's reality TV show.
All right, we have the first paper here, the Nation newspaper, with so many catchy headlines. Like no rift over APC campaign, council says spokesman. IPOB takes wicket to ICC over Obibo massacre. We have Buhari, Jonathan, others worried over spread of fake news. We also have Mbaka, Enugu Catholic Diocese, lift ban on adoration ministry, and a very broad one, Scandal rocks PDP National Working Committee as members return 122.4 million naira, plus other interesting stories. So, Okon,
yes, sir.
you are welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
From the Nation newspaper, of which we are told you glanced through. Now, which of the headlines or the stories did you really
okay? The scandal hits PDP as National Working Committee.
Okay.
Recovers some returns from the proposed. I mean, the
National Working Committee.
Yes.
Okay, now there's been this particular issue about PDP and PDP and PDP. Based on this particular one that just happened yesterday, how do you think about this story, and how is it really as expected, or is it shocking to Nigerians that these can come from Iyocha Ayu, the embattled national chairman of the People's Democratic Party?
All right. Thank you very much. Hello, Nigerians. It's good to have you here. So, I am not really surprised, but I think PDP is not Nigeria. So they should be able to manage their issues without coming out every single time we are hearing about them. So for the scandal, I still believe it's still an allegation. But Iyocha, on the other hand, there have been many agitations for his removal. And we have seen this most especially from the destruction of the Southern.
The Southern, okay, not
yes.
just the Southern. Let's talk about the person in question, which is River State Governor in some weekend.
Okay. I know very well that in every single atom of allegation, there's a truth inside. In every other allegation, there's an atom of truth inside. So, on the other hand, the River State Governor is agitating. Most people think maybe it's because of the fact that he's still trying to recover from the loss of the PDP primaries elections. But I think we should look aside that and look at why is this man always putting his voice out on this particular issue. It shouldn't just be because of the fact that maybe he's feeling like the party national chairman is from the north.
Okay, now, before now, we had this particular issue where Iyocha was accused of corruption by the same Wike. We said something about him demanding or receiving 1 billion naira from one of the aspirants, or couldn't just like whether it's out there or not. Now, is it the part of the corruption that is trying to play out now from Iyocha Ayu? It's assumed.
Yes, honestly, I seriously believe that in every single thing hidden under the sun will be exposed with time. So he couldn't have actually just come out with such an allegation. There should be an undertone to that. He must have heard something or he must have seen something.
Okay, let's take a look at this. Now we have it that Arapaja Obi Adagunodo Efato rejects strange rent stipends of 122.4 million naira. How come? Will you reject such amount of money at this time? Or just like all of a sudden you receive a lot of such amount of money?
Okay, fine. I wouldn't say I will reject it first, but let me also say something about the money. They are also saying that this money is like strange money. And that means people, you can have an alert and you don't know.
Okay.
How true is that? And this money is always in section. The national women leader money is lower than the rest of the other people.
Okay.
And so these people are receiving this money. Now, this came as a result of the allegations which came out online. And now they're beginning to receive calls, maybe from their people that, you are on the internet because of this thing. And so they have begun to come out to say this money is strange now. So they want to...
Okay, now, would this money have been reported, or would they have met these, refunds?
No.
This thing didn't come out.
No,
it
too.
Didn't just bring this up.
Nobody would have made that returns if it didn't come out. I strongly believe that it was as a result of the agitations that, okay, fine. And let me also say it's an allegation, yes, but the national chairman of the party should be able to come out also and address the issue. Not only the national chairman, because he's the one accused, and the PDP flag bearer, which is always saying that he's a bridge between the two. Okay. It's northern and the south. So as in the unifier that he is, he should be able to come out and address this issue also. He needs to say something and not make everyone look like a blur.
Okay, now the cash in question is about 28 million naira for each. I think the least person got 28 million naira. Now, let's take a look at these. This money was meant for housing allowance. Is there no other thing they would have just taken? Let's assume this fund would have just gotten straight to them than housing allowance. Having all these who is who in the National Working Committee, why housing allowance at this particular time? Was there no other name to tag this particular fund transfer apart from housing allowance?
I think maybe it's the allowance that is agreed by their constitution. Yes.
Okay. That they're entitled to.
Yes, yeah, and if you look at what the national women leader said, she said at the appropriate time, whatever is due for me, and I mean she's not asking for much. She's not asking for less.
What is
just give her my own share.
All right, it's okay. Thank you very much, Okon, for sharing with us your own side of this particular story. I'm still newspaper review with the housemates. Today, on the President's reality TV show, we've had Okon, the first person to come and tell us what he read through the page of a newspaper called The Nation. Thank you very much, Okon.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
President's reality TV show.
Alright, still on paper review, and I'm here with the next housemate, Fred. And Fred said he dissected through Daily Independent newspaper, of which we have some catchy headlines here. I'm going to read out, and he's going to tell us the one he will throw more light on. We have a very broad one, which is the political fireworks begin in 3-horse presidential race. Atiku beat Tinubu other sign peace accord. That's from the Daily Independent newspaper. We also have here CBN raises MPR to 15.5% to tame inflation, FX pressure. Also from Daily Independent, we have my priorities to reunify Nigeria, improve economy, still from Atiku. And we have a very big one here, which is for a growing economy, vote Atiku Okowa for Nigeria 2023. You can see result. Okay, now Daily Independent is here, and Fred is here to tell us which of the stories that was really catchy and he worked on. Fred.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm going to be focusing on the political fireworks.
Political fireworks begin in 3 hours, and Atiku Obi Tinubu other sign peace accord. Fred, this has been a tradition for about 2 elections now. The one that brought in Muhammadu Buhari into power, that outstate Goodluck Jonathan, and we had the Bishop Kuka, we had the former Nigerian presidents as well, Salami Abubakar, and so many others come together to form this peace accord. Now we have it that Atiku beat Tinubu on the side. Now can you just throw more light on that as a political fireworks begin based on the Independent newspaper?
Okay, so according to the National Committee, the National Peace Committee, which is basically the body behind the peace accord and spearheaded by General Abdul Salam Abraka. Basically, the goal or the aim of the peace accord is to curtail the certain levels of violence that might go on during the campaign processes. So how they could minimize violence, how inciting people for violence, hate speech, insultive words to other opposition party, because the goal is driven towards national unity and national development. So despite the fact that we have 18 registered political parties running for these elections, there is 3 focal political candidates, which is tagged the 3-horse presidential race, right? That is Atiku, Tinubu, and yes, there are the 3 major people.
Okay, now, there is this particular show this morning came up and said there was no need for the peace accord because once a peace pact is being signed by political parties and their candidates, it's assumed there was war. So he's condemning it in totality. Now, on your own side, based on what you've read, is there any need for this peace accord to be signed by political parties and their candidates?
There is need, because if a peace accord is not signed, how do you hold them to ransom when they go against certain principles or certain laws? You have nowhere to hold them. Okay, yes, they agreed and signed the peace accord. My own bone of contention is the fact that APC presidential candidate was not available in person to sign. So there are certain times when issues might come up, you can have excuses from him like I was not there.
His deputy was there, his vice was there.
If you are running as a #1 citizen of a country like Nigeria, in a situation where we are in between economic crisis and insecurity, we need your presence, not a representative. You have not gotten into office. So we can't say categorically there was no official announcement of why he was absent, but his representative was there.
The vice as well, because in the absence of the president, the vice automatically works.
He has not become the president yet.
So despite that, the candidate.
So we can't start operating with his vice from campaign.
Okay, let's quickly look at this now. Now, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan had a statement that the blood of any Nigerian is not, or his election or re-election as the president is not worth any blood of a Nigerian. Now, let's take a look at this. Is this really, are you really saying that play in the upcoming election based on the peace accord that they've signed?
2023 election, it's described as one of the most challenging and will be one of the most difficult conducted in the history of Nigerian democracy.
Why do you say so?
Simply because the election is thrown open. The 3 candidates are coming to replace a sitting government that has finished its tenure, his second tenure. So it means he's not seeking for return, and a fresh person is supposed to come into Aso Rock. And if you look at it critically, we have someone from the southeast, we have someone from the southwest, and we have someone from the north. Okay. So it means these 3 people, and when you look at the statistic of the vote, of how people vote in the past, and look at the statistics of how people have been reacting to each of these candidates, you will know that we can't decide until we get to that point, because right now, INEC has given the go-ahead for campaign to start between 28th of September to 23rd of February. Right? So between this space, we need these parties to prove to us how they want to run the government. Because if it's Buhari seeking for return, we will say, okay, he wants to continue what he has done in the first tenure. Okay. We need to know, and that is why we need all the candidates actively on ground.
With these, because we never saw this coming early. Definitely, it's always like a week to elections before the peace accord or peace pact is being signed. Now, they've quoted a lot, like the hate speech during campaigns, and like, is this really timely? Talking about the peace accord, or will it have been just before the elections, or are they trying to curtail some issues that may have arise before the election? Do you think they are foreseeing unforeseen? That's why they had to hasten up the peace accord being signed before or during the presidential campaigns, even before the elections?
I think it's timely because our nation is in a very critical condition. That every unconscious statement can incite violence, can instigate people into doing so many wrong things, because a lot of Nigerians are angry. A lot of Nigerians are not happy. Economy is down, insecurity everywhere, and things are not in accordance how it's supposed to be, not even the barest minimum. So if the peace accord comes to play, it brings this consciousness that no matter how angry you are on the campaign ground, no matter how you want to voice out your agenda, sell out yourself, you need to curtail the fact that, because we've had times where the current vice presidential candidate for APC, come out publicly to say before APC primary how Osibanjo is an ice cream seller, right? That kind of statements are deteriorating on personal.
All right. All the same, Fred, we know we still have enough to see on these, but all the same, thank you very much for sharing with us what you've glanced through the independent newspaper as part of activities marking this maiden edition of the President's Reality TV show. Thank you very much, Fred, for stopping by.
Thank you so much. Okay.
President's Reality TV show.
Alright, still on the paper review. We have another paper here, the Punch newspaper. You can see for yourself, and we have some interesting headlines right here. We have states to get $750 million World Bank loan in December. A huge one. Also, this one is from Obasanjo. He said politicians may destroy Nigeria as he raises the alarm. We also have 13 communities sacked, 300 displaced in Anambra floods. We have Senate ticket, Machina floors Lawan as seeks reconciliation. Still from the Punch, we have gunmen kill soldiers, others in Anambra as Saludo the state government fumes. P&I scam, court revokes director's bail, others rearrest. And a very big one here, Tiku launches campaign, books, aggrieved governors boycott event. We have Bari governors has failed, government has failed, Nigeria in disarray, our federalism faulty, that's from the PDP candidate Atiku Abubakar. Why autumn? Makinde bears others won't campaign for ex-vice president, says aides. And also PDP remains a strong party. We are campaigning to win Governor Emmanuel. Joining us this session to take critical look into any of the stories is our very wonderful housemate here, Jefferson. Jefferson, welcome.
Thank you.
Jefferson, we have so many interesting stories or headlines from the Punch newspaper. So which of them did you pick interest?
Okay, the Obasanjo ones.
Obasanjo wants politicians will destroy Nigeria
Yes.
as he raises the alarm.
Yes.
Obasanjo in the news again. So what did you get from this story?
Okay, he was talking about or telling religious leaders to, because they are the ones who are going to play a significant role in this election. So they should speak to the politicians, and if the politicians didn't hear, can't hear, they should speak to the citizens.
Okay.
During the elections.
All right. Now, this one coming from Obasanjo, is it really, really relevant at this particular time? Do people still see Obasanjo as an elder statesman based on his doings? Because his stance initially, we had it that he withdrew from active or partisan politics when he tore the PDP card, membership card, that is no more. But it seems he's now like the new bride that every politician wants to, go have a kiss before this hell through. So how are Nigeria still seeing Obasanjo as that respected or influential politician that anybody from any party can do without?
Yes, when you talk about content of character, merit and grit, you should take Obasanjo as a mentor to that, or a roadmap. And that's why I think they are going to him. Politicians are going to him.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let's take a look at this now. What do you really think religious organizations have to do with elections as it stands now? And how impactful, what role do they play when it comes to elections?
Okay, if the current president and Sultan has a very big role to play, because Nigeria is a religious country, and then if you see the population of people, about 100% are so religious, are either Christians or Muslims. So religious leaders will play a very vital role by talking to their members or followers about the election, in choosing the right candidate for the election.
Okay, now you have been this particular romance among the politicians and the religious bodies, especially of recent. We've had the candidates of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, visited, I think, Dunamis Church in Abuja, and also at the Redemption Camp. during the Redeemed Christian Church of God convention also. Now, don't you think it's just like they are trying to win or trying to woo a particular group of persons who practices Christianity themselves? Now, what if we also have the likes of Tinubu attend this? Do you see any imbalance on this, or do you see? I still want to get that particular point. Religious bodies were really seen as a rallying point to give anybody who's aspiring to become the president of Nigeria an opportunity.
Okay,
in
sir.
terms of electorate campaigns and votes.
You see, in selection, in election, my own point of view, religion, education shouldn't count, but content of character, I'll still repeat this, content of character, grit and merits. So religious body actually it's not about religion. It's not about he's a Muslim or he's a Christian. It's about the content of character, who is going to deliver. Integrity, truth, honesty. That's what we want in this country.
Okay, now Obasanjo raising the alarm. Is it too early for this alarm by Obasanjo?
No, it's not.
Waited till maybe during the election that he raises the alarm, or he raised the alarm as in properly?
No, he raises the alarm properly.
Properly.
Yes.
Now with his romance with a particular party of recent, he went to London with a particular presidential candidate, which he had a very wonderful time going out with him. Don't you think other political parties may see him to be sentimental based on this particular issue, or to be partisan?
Well, it depends on the relationship they have. So I wouldn't speak much about that because I don't know deeply
But
about
he's
it.
a politician anyway. Now, coming to say politicians may destroy Nigeria. Now, who is he referring to?
You see, like you said, he was a politician, and now I think, should I say he's a retired politician. So he has gone through politics.
Okay.
He knows the do's and he knows the don'ts. So he knows who is right for the country and who is not right for the country.
All right. All the same, thank you very much,
Thank you, sir.
Jefferson, for bringing this up.
Thank you.
It was nice having you discuss this particular story from the Punch today with us. Have a lovely day.
Thank you very much.
Residence reality show.
For this maiden edition of the President Reality TV show, we have another housemate who will be going with us through the pages of the Vanguard newspaper. And from the Vanguard today, we have these top stories making headlines. We have Calabar Port berths 190-meter long general cargo vessel. We also have gunmen kill 5 soldiers, 1 other in Anambra. I'll end insecurity, poverty if elected. That's from Peter Obi of the Labour Party. We also have 2023 Northern Elders tackle Ohanaeze once against demarketing Peter Obi. We have flood submerges 65 Ndokwa communities. We have NDLA draw call. Federal government approves 580 million naira for armored vehicles over fear of reprisal attacks on personnel. Still from Vanguard, we have no insurance cover for trained terrorism victims. NRC boss Okiria. Then we have a very big one here. PDP campaign flag off. We must halt Nigeria's descent into anarchy. That's from Atiku. Nigeria's world is united now than during Civil War. Launches 3 books. Begs all PDP members for support, and so on and so forth. Now, joining me to look into the stories in the Vanguard this morning with a particular interest is our very own housemate, or call him an aspirant or candidate as case may be, Daniel. Daniel, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, Daniel, having gone through all the stories, which one is very, or you consider to be very catchy or tea?
I think the story that captures my attention is the flag off of the PDP campaign.
Flag off.
Yes.
And Atiku says, are you okay? Okay, as he flagged off this campaign, we have that Ayu, Wike, Makinde, Otom were absent. Why I didn't attend Atiku's book launch? Anyoku and Ikpeazu didn't snub Atiku in Enugu. That's from the PDP. Okay, now let's share with us your own view on this particular issue about PDP flagging off their campaign.
I think one of the bold things there in the paper is that we must halt Nigeria's descent into anarchy. And it's a good thing that Atiku is calling for peace. I think that's why the peace accord is relevant. But then it's also a message that has been preached by the other candidates, Obi, Tinubu, Kankaso, and even Sorry. And so the question is, why are you preaching peace to the entire nation? Why don't you want Nigeria to go into anarchy when your party is having some rickety, shaky movement? If you can't handle your party, that means it will be difficult to handle the country.
parties, that's
Yes.
all, yeah.
So
Okay.
so having people like Wike not in attendance, Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, the former governor of Ondo State, Olusegun Mimiko, Tom, and even the governor of Abia State, Bazu, having them not attend is like a problem because for somebody like Wike, who is a stronghold in the party, who came out second in the primaries, having him not in Atiku's side, it doesn't spell good news for PDP this
Okay,
2023
now let's take a
election.
look at this. Though the side of Wiki haven't made any comment on reasons why they boycotted the campaign flag off now.
Yeah.
Now, do you see Wiki as a very big force in this particular power play when it comes to same party issue? Because this would have been from other parties now. Others they say, okay, let's use this advantage and see how we can build ourselves. Now, do you really see PDP having it on the right track with the flagging of the campaign without these names? About 5 governors, including Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike.
Okay, I think when it comes to election, no matter what capacity, everybody is relevant. And for somebody like Wike, who got the second highest vote during the primaries, it is a conundrum not to have him in the side of everybody when it comes to the PDP. Now, the issue with the PDP is really very huge. Now, somebody might make it look easy. Somebody like Atiku, who is running for the president, might make it look simple. Somebody like Governor Odom, who said the PDP, people can talk too much, people can talk what they want. But then there's still a problem in the PDP, and everybody is important. Even somebody like Emeka Anyoku, who said he was not invited to the flag off, so nobody, they just posted something.
Now,
that he should come
Atiku coming
around.
out to say, I can't win elections alone with the likes of these stalwarts from the south, not part of these. Now, is he actually carrying everybody along? When he says he can't win elections alone, the story has been that the Yachaoyu should go for equity and transparency to return to the party. Now, says I can't win elections alone. Is he trying to be sincere with this particular statement?
Actually, he is. He is. Saying he can't win alone, it just shows the fact.
Now, with about 5 governors, sitting governors pulling out from his own presidential campaign, don't you think he's alone on this?
I think this is just his way of calling the others to come back. Because maybe he doesn't want to go openly. Maybe he has been doing it and we don't know. But this is just a way of saying, please come back. We need you guys in our team to make this work. And I think already, I don't want to make predictions, but we know what the reality is. And when you don't have people like Wike or Seyi Makinde, people who have actually been working, people who have been there for the party since 2019 till now, that means you don't have a strong team. I must put that.
All right, so we would have really discussed further by this, where we call it a wrap on your own side. Thanks for sharing with us your own side of the story based on what we have on the Vanguard Newspaper PDP campaign flag off. We must halt Nigeria's descent into anarchy. That's from Atiku. But before we go, let's just throw a little light on this. Now, Nigerians more disunited now than during Civil War, and as well launching 3 books at the same time. Do you see this book as political, or is just that he wants a tool, a missile, let's assume, to send into various areas to get the message to the people directly?
I think everything any candidate does now is a tool. And launching on the day of campaign, the first day of campaign, is like a message. I just want people to talk about me. I just want people to...
With this, now, when everywhere is just tense, do you think Nigerians will really want to go through 3 books from one presidential candidate?
Nah. We have lots of books to read in Nigeria.
Okay.
So this is not...
all the same, thank you very much, my brother Daniel, for stopping by to do this.
Okay.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you very much, sir.
Residence reality TV show.
All right, another housemate is here, are still to give us some vibes when it gets to the paper review. And away from the last one, we have another paper here, the Post newspaper, of which we have so many interesting headlines here. I'm talking about I'm Not Dead. Chris Ikpeyon debunks dead rumor. 2023 consequent Senate seats I will hand over to who handed over to me. Senator Ikpeyon describes them as a comedian, dead dreamer. Also court strikes out suit against striking university lecturers. We still have some other stories like at 35, Governor Udom is commissioning uncompleted project. Also, don't sit in Abuja to campaign. Udom warns as PDP inaugurate campaign council. So from the Post, this moment, we have Bam Bam.
Thank you.
Bam is here to share with us his own side of any of the headlines that we've read so far. So let's have you. Which of them did you really
And
dissect?
my own side of the story is about Hudom telling the PDP members not to stay in Abuja to be campaigning. They should come back to their local government areas and
Should
come back to the state,
council
yeah,
and
to campaign.
Don't sit in Abuja.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's take a look at this. Is it that Abuja doesn't need campaign, or Abuja is already
No,
declared a PDP
Yeah.
council or state?
thank you. As we all know, that election is around the corner, and campaign will soon kickstart. It has already kickstart. So, and different political parties will begin to bring out their tactics to win.
Okay.
To win elections. So they will hide under this carpet. They will start bringing out various ideas, different ideas to win and their election. Let's go back to what happened in Osun State. We can see how PDP used all the resources they had to win that election.
When you talk about PDP using all the resources, it was money inclusive.
Money is inclusive. Money is also added.
Okay.
That's why I normally tell people that the leader we have, the leader we needed in Nigeria is someone that can think inside the box, outside the box, on top of the box, under the box, around the box. So that's it.
That's incredible. All right, now with the case of Osun State, you just mentioned now. You said the states were able, or PDP had enough time, and they went into every nook and cranny, according to you, just to campaign and win. Now, asking politicians to leave Abuja and get down to the grassroots, don't you think that it stands now? We're talking about the cash for campaigns and asking people to go into grassroots. Don't you think it's going to be monetary, or money will be involved? Because
Money is already involved already.
Okay.
Money is already involved. It's a game of who wins. So different people, different political parties have been already and bringing out monetary funds to convince people.
Okay, now Bam Bam, let's take a look at this. We have people who are in authorities already.
Yeah.
We have the senators, we have public office holders who controls basically their resources, either public funds, legally or illegally. Don't you think that the people, the populace and the grassroots level, and the villages, cities, they hardly have access to funds? So that's why they feel reluctant coming out, because they believe that the people who are in Abuja are the ones who controls the funds. So coming down now, once after the election, we won't have access to them. So let them come down and do their listing, if at all they want the real politics to play.
That's what I'm
So now, how do we bring people from Abuja down to grassroots to come and campaign when we have the party even at the grassroots level?
And because people, they believe that those in Abuja, and they are highly loaded with cash.
Okay.
They are highly loaded with, they have connections.
Okay.
So they will use their influence to win the elections by convincing people to vote them in.
Okay.
So that is what I'm saying.
So they can't stay in Abuja.
They
campaign,
can't
have
stay in
to, as
Abuja.
in-
Yes.
Is that what happened in Osun State?
That was what happened in Osun State.
So they relaxed.
Both parties, both parties.
They allowed Abuja to do the campaign while they
Yes.
were there relaxing.
Are relaxing, and that's
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All the same, Bam Bam, for sharing with us your own side of the story. The story was that you don't sit in Abuja to campaign, as we don't want PDP members and faithfuls. That you should come down to the local council and also campaign. Thank you very much, Bam Bam, for sharing with us.
Thank you.
These. Have a lovely day.
And you too.
Residence reality TV show.
Still on paper review from the Pioneer Newspaper. This moment we have these interesting stories. Federal government makes U-turn, withdraws order to reopen varsities. Inflation, CBN raises interest rates to 15.5%. We have on here Obasanjo endorses Akwa Ibom landmark road project. We also have Akwa Ibom state government moves to boost indigenous access to donor funds. Federal government commences implementation of new national teachers policy. Those are the interesting stories we have from the Pioneer Newspaper. And joining us these moments to share her own side of any of the stories is our very own housemate, Damaris. Damaris, you're
Yes,
welcome.
sir. Thank you very much.
All right,
sir.
Damaris, we have so many interesting stories here. I don't know the exact one that will be of interest to you that you want to talk about.
Okay, thank you very much. But I'm very interested in the universities.
Okay, the federal government's making U-turn
Yes,
as
sir.
it withdraws order to reopen universities.
Yes, sir.
All right, now this has been a very, very lingering issue between ASU. About 7 months now, since the students were asked to stay at home.
Yes, sir.
It's been postponed. Federal government and ASU loggerhead
Yes,
up
sir.
till this point that we're talking. Now, what's your own reasoning on this particular story or issue?
Okay. What I think I want to say about this is federal government should look critically into this, because our teachers are really working, they are trying. The government are lacking in this area. And so I think especially the issue of reviews of salary
Okay.
is very paramount, and so they should do something about it.
Okay, let's take a look at this now. Federal government asking universities to reopen based on the court verdict. And also asking them after how many hours, within 48
Yes.
hours, to withdraw
Yes.
and not to reopen again. What's your reaction on this particular stuff? Who are they afraid of? Because it seems there is a KLEC somewhere asking them, oh yeah, come with the matching order, reopen immediately. And now within 48 hours also asking them to withdraw from resumption. What could be the issue between these particular two that can never be resolved?
Okay. First of all, according to what I read, the president of ASU came out to said that the federal government are not talking to his members. Reason be that universities are not run like parastatals. And so he said they cannot be ordering them around without complying to their demands.
The demand, okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, as it stands, don't you think from your own view that the demand is much? Now, it's been how many months now they've been home, not working, and still asking government to pay them for even the months they've not done anything. Are they fair on these particular demands from the government?
I think they are, because that is their own source of income. And if the government were to do their own bit of it from the beginning, it will not prolong the issue to this state of it now. And so I think they're right.
Okay, as it stands now with these recent developments,
Yes.
are you seeing any insight this particular issue between the federal government and ASU coming very, very soon? Due to these meetings, this court injunction, different court verdicts and rulings, are you sure that even before the year runs out, that our students will be back to school?
Yes, I'm sure. I believe so much in our federal government.
And that they are going to
Do something about it,
and
yes,
they haven't
sir.
done in the past 7 months.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Anything is possible.
Damaris, thank you very much for stopping by to share your thoughts on this particular issue concerning federal government taking U-turn withdrawals, all that to reopen universities. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Have a
for
lovely
having me,
day.
sir. Thank you.
Residence reality TV show.
We have another paper here, still for review, and it's called the Global Pilots. Global Pilots paper today. We have very interesting stories based on the headlines that we have. We have Governor Emmanuel cautions traditional rulers, council chairman on boundary issues. We also have New Breed extols Governor Emmanuel's developmental strides as Akwa Ibom marks 35 years anniversary. Pastor Moino hails Governor Emmanuel over quality strategic project implementation. We also have God's peace I bring to you, Governor Emmanuel, to PDP as party inaugurates presidential campaign council. And we also have a very broad one, Eket Sports Complex for inauguration Friday. Obasanjo Obasake confirmed Udom as a man of character. Inaugurates 29-kilometer dual road bridges, Udomoko, and others. Joining me this moment to look into any of these interesting stories is our fellow here in the house, a very wonderful housemate by name Kala. Kala,
Thank you, sir.
nice having you on please.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Kala from the Global Pilot, of which I'm aware you've gone or you glanced through all the stories here. Which one catches your attention the most?
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's the one about the road, the 29-kilometer.
Okay, 29-kilometer dual road bridges
Yes.
and Udomoko.
Yes.
Okay. It's been inauguration also for the past how many days now based on Akwa Ibom State 35th anniversary celebration,
Yes, sir.
of which the former president Olusegun Obasanjo was in Akwa Ibom to inaugurate some of this project. Even the governor of Edo State, Governor Obasake,
Yeah.
who also came in to do this. So, what do you find that's very interesting about this particular story?
Okay.
from
Okay.
Global
First.
Pilot.
Okay. Thank you, sir. First, because it's one of the first major construction that connects several local governments in
the state, in Akwa Ibom
in
State.
Akwa Ibom State, a local government that haven't seen this kind of development before. So as a business person, I understand that in the real estate sector, the first thing that every real estate mogul is looking for is access, road accessibility. Because the thing is, if people can access those communities, then they can actually stay there. They can build businesses there and all. And this is one of the projects I was going to connect, make it easier for transport from Akwa Ibom to Abia State.
Okay.
So that's also trade because their markets, there's the Aba market in Abia State. So it will make trade within both states quicker. Logistics for sending goods from there down here would be easier.
Okay, let's take a look at this now. Don't you think at 35, majority of the persons would have thought that the Akwa Ibom State by now should be doing other projects rather than reconstruction?
Okay, because states are ever expanding. It's if you have, let's say you're the governor of a certain state, what you're looking at is what's the next big thing? How do we expand? How do we make our states bigger? There are a lot of landmass. What we need is more development in those areas. So you can never really stop constructing roads or stop constructing accessibility to different places within your states and between your states and other states to make transportation easier. So roads will really never stop. It's something that should continue happening. So we could look at other projects that should be happening, like what we talked about yesterday, the health sector and other sectors. But for road, for accessibility for transportation, goods and people are very important for the commerce of every state.
Okay, now, the choice of Obasanjo, a former president,
Yeah.
to come commission a current project.
Okay.
When we have the likes of maybe the PDP chairman,
Yes.
we have the likes of the vibrant Yeson Wike, very close to
Yeah.
Akwa Ibom State, and we have the likes of Ikbeazu Okezie of Abia State, and we have the likes of even the one Yeson Wike brought into commission project over there by the church. Now, why Obasanjo?
Well,
That's my other point.
we can see it's a PDP thing.
Okay.
We can see that it's really a PDP thing. And then also, again, because during Obasanjo, he's one of the longest serving presidents during the democracy rule. And he's also a man of projects. at least we can attest to the fact that it was during his tenure that we had proper telecommunications in our country that the common man can access. And outside every other project, we talked about the privatization era to make sure that the kind of infrastructures that we have as a nation are managed not only by government but also by private bodies. So he's a man of projects who would understand that. And aside from that, I believe they all know themselves, being in the PDP party
Because
and all. So
maybe because Udom is looking for another opportunity to save Nigeria in capacity, maybe that's why he's bringing Obasanjo. We don't say,
it's all
since you
politics.
say just because it's Obasanjo, it's a PDP thing. Awesome. Thank you very much, Kala, for stopping by to do this.
Thank you, sir.
with us. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, sir.
President's reality show.
Yes, from the Summon newspaper, still on the paper review section, on the President reality TV show season 1, we have these catchy headlines. First is why we dissolved vigilante group in Ika local government area. That's from the council chairman. We have it, boy donates life savings to Oba's campaign. Says God has already met Senator Abassi governor. We also have troop. Police rescue 5 kidnapped victims in Akwa Ibom. We have communal disaster looms in Akwa Ibom. Eket Esedeket Ibana on loggerhead over ownership of Stops Creek Reserve. We have exposing Iframe Yangayen YPP Eket Central District candidate 2023 Senate. We have PDP is one big family in Akwa Ibom with a common goal from Anyekan Akban. We also have I got 3.5 million naira from the 80 million naira ransom my ex-boss paid his. Notorious kidnapper Lion. Also, Lawan loses again at Supreme Court, orders INEC to publish Machina as APC Yobe North senatorial candidates. And we have here a very beautiful housemate, Odinaka, to give us her own side of any of the stories I've just given you headlines so far. Odinaka, welcome.
Thank you so very much, and hello, viewers.
Okay, now from these stories, which one is the one that you like to share with us based on what you've read?
It's the one that talks about government sealing church hospital over unwholesome activities.
Okay, government sealing church hospital over unwholesome activities. Okay, let's quickly have that. Please share with us.
Okay, that actually happened in Kogi State. The governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, ordered the sealing of a church, and the name of the church is the New Jerusalem Deliverance Ministry. This church was reported to be carrying out illegal medical activities such as delivering of babies, also
maternity
treating
issues, treating patients as well.
Yes, treating ailments, and also psychiatric, taking care of mad people there.
Okay.
So it's uncalled for, a church, a place of worship.
But is this strange that this thing is just, or it just came up all of a sudden? Because this keeps happening almost everywhere in Nigeria today. Now, okay, let's take a look at government interfering on this particular issue. Don't you think this is not just timely, because these activities maybe have been happening for quite some time now?
Yeah, it might have been happening. And let me shock you that this church has been established since 2008. And the day this action was carried out, it's reported that 100 members were there.
Already.
Yes, so actually you will not blame the government. It depends on the intelligence that they get.
Okay.
So if they have those informations at the right time, they will definitely do something about it. Like now, it has been sealed.
Okay. As it stands now, will this stop other churches who still practices this from happening? Because sometimes now we have the government, they will come and say, this is what we've discovered. Now, what measures have they put in place to check these and the first act from reoccurring?
Okay, yes, definitely. When other people see this act, they would maybe refrain from it. That is why there's always punishment. And for those who continue to do it, I think the government also has a role to play by setting up a body. This now takes us to KAMA, whereby the Companies and Allied Matters Act, where they can and are supposed to have a particular structure where the tenure of the GO
will
Yes,
elapse
apart
after how
from
many
that,
years?
to
Okay.
checkmate some issues, but since we over politicize and regionalize and religious, then make everything to be look like it's religion. So we see some religious leaders who were kicked against it, but all these things has been put in place to checkmate
Okay, now
excesses
let's
of.
take a look at this now. Which agency from the government do you think can look into most of these issues? Now let's assume you, Odinaka, you own a church as a prophetess or mommy GO. All of a sudden you see government officials waiting to come and check from your vestry. They check your prayer room, your prayer mountain, and all those things. Won't you react negatively and say, this is spirituality? What has it got to do with government?
Okay, just like you said, it's spirituality. But now look at what happened in Kogi State. So if government comes in to check, for me, I don't see it as a wrong thing. They're coming to checkmate because not all churches are doing what it should do, are abiding by their tenets.
Okay.
So if they do it, and also you know that you asked for the bodies, though I can't really mention a body like that, but if you come to Akwa Ibom State here,
Okay.
we have essay on religious matters.
Okay.
So those people who have been
I thought you were going to
given this-
mention Christian Church of Nigeria anyway.
Okay,
because
you
that's
know, Khan had actually kicked against Kama.
Okay.
So that's what some people.
okay. Now with the commando approach in which most of the government regulating agency normally invade premises and whatever, don't you think people having a service in the church on a Sunday, maybe they're conducting deliverance, then the government agency, the task force will wait in to come and say, what kind of deliverance are you conducting? Don't you think that will bring uproar and alone? Just the case of Indaboski in Anambra State where a government agency tried to demolish a section of the church that already blocked the road.
That is why people who handle positions should be trained. They should go on training and retraining. That
All
would
right.
really
All the same,
help.
thank you very much, Odinaka, for sharing with us your thoughts on this particular story. Do have a lovely day as well.
Thank you, and you too.
From the Ink, a newspaper, still part of the paper review today, with the housemates. We have these interesting stories. Aquarium 35, Senator Pabio's legacy lives on from a group. PDP, other celebrates Governor Emmanuel State Mark's anniversary. We have Okoyak protest grounds again as EPU demands gazetted map. We also have World Tour 2022, you are hybrid governorship candidate. Akpabio tells you we have Kanina Tommy unveils 2022 Wicked Festival theme assures maximum security and transparency. Also, boy sows into the future, donate life savings to Oba's campaign. According to him, he said God has already made Oba governor. That's from the boy. We have these stories as well, and one of the housemates is here, Matthew, to pick any of these and give us his own side or thought on any of the headlines you've heard so far. Matthew, welcome.
Thank you,
Let's
sir.
have you. This is just a copy of the front page of the Ink newspaper. Let's have Matthew.
Thank you,
Matthew,
sir.
which of the stories?
All right. As a young and a vibrant Akwa Ibomite, I really want to go for that boy that just did that remarkable thing there.
Okay, boy to sow into the future, donate life saving.
Yeah.
At Oba's campaign. Now, Oba, a political, will I call it a candidate of a political party. And this boy is not even sure of this particular candidate of the YPP grabbing power. Now, giving his own life savings to this politician, is it really fair for a young boy of such to sow into the life or a campaign of a politician who is not even sure to win the election?
All right. That question is really captivating. Courtesy of what is being done and how it is, if you go into that story, before I now let you know what maybe could prompt that boy to do that, you notice that he has been given a scholarship just on that. Just on that, he has been given a scholarship. The boy has a vision. A vision is not just because of maybe the political party the person belongs, but it might be because he saw a vision about this person being the one that might revamp Akwa Ibom with the current situation maybe they are having. I believe that should be the boy's ideology.
Now, according to you said, based on the story that the boy has been blessed with a scholarship.
A scholarship, yeah.
Okay, now, don't you think other boys who have savings can as well still come donate to a campaign or a candidate, so they can get this thing. Was it that he did this because he wanted the scholarship from this governorship candidate?
Okay, that one is still a good one, although you just asked, could it be that maybe other boys might just want to do the same, just to see maybe in another party if they can get such favor? But I don't think
From the same party, not
okay,
even
from the same
from the
party.
same candidate. So now, what if
Actually,
others like 100 or 200 people begin to carry their own life savings and give to a
actually,
governorship candidate and say, sir,
actually,
I've seen a vision. You are the one. They're the next, the next. Or you collect. Will they
actually,
all
actually,
have the same
actually,
scholarship?
let me bring you to a dim light about this. Since 2016, Uba has been on a scholarship scheme for Akwa Ibomite. That one is just the truth. He has been on this. Maybe, like you just said, it could be maybe other 10 or more people or boys, girls, like it might be like students, might want the same favor from this government because maybe they have seen that's where the future of Akwa Ibom lies. Like young, vibrant Akwa Ibomite, they believe that the future of the Akwa Ibom is in their hands. He has seen and he has gained it into that future and he has grabbed his own copy. So I believe.
Now, what if the thought of the day does not favor this particular person whom has received the life savings of a particular young individual? Because definitely it's politics, you never can tell.
Okay.
As it stands now, either this candidate wins or lose.
All right, let me bring you to this. I would just said people don't just go for what they don't think they will benefit from. Before you can go for something, you on your own personally, you are expecting two things. Either you will succeed or you will fail. But the first thing you think on yourself is that you believe you will succeed on this. And a man's failure does not determine that that's the end of his life. For a candidate to go for a particular party to contest for election, actually, he assumed to win. He has his belief, and he believed that he would deliver the people that he wants to serve. Fine. If he fails the election, that does not end his career. So the boy serving, given to him to run the campaign, at the same time, the boy has gained his own favor at first. So him
By getting
failing,
the scholarship.
yeah, he has gotten his scholarship, and that still falls into what the man has been doing, and he will continue doing it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all the same, we are here to see a widow without house will also go and make her own life saving if the candidate will also bless her with the house. How about that?
It's the same thing.
Okay.
You know, like let's just assume we are in a campaign time now. All right. The candidate, they are coming in and they are coming with so many
So
promises.
you are trying to tell us now that is the right time for you to get something from
Yes.
any candidate.
Let me just
Like-
use this as a platform. Yes,
say
fine.
just
I'm just
get
trying
any-
to let you know, as
Okay.
they are coming to need something from us, we can just as well use such opportunity to get something from them back.
Okay, this is
That's
what you're
just
talking
it.
about now. All right, thank you very much, Matthew,
right.
for sharing with us your own thoughts on this particular issue. Thank you. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, sir.
President's reality TV show.
For the next housemates, we have here the Mail newspaper, which we're going to go through some stories from the Mail newspaper this moment, of which he's going to pick a story of interest and share with us what he thinks about any of these. We have it, divestment, why oil communities will be stranded in Niger Delta, Group 1s. Divestments why oil communities will be stranded in Niger Delta, Group 1s. Also from the Mail we have 2023 Guba, Onofiokluk told me he was leaving PDP, but I advised him against it. That's from Bayelsa Governor Duyodiri. He said Onofiokluk told him he was leaving PDP, but he advised him against it. Also, from the Mail, we have a Akwa Ibom government conspiring, feasting on Eket Ibn on land disputes. That's from Algon Chairman. He said Eket remains literal. All producing community, Eket People's Union, insists. Ring Road 3 is the best road in the world. It will last for a lifetime. That's from Uwimokoko of Hensek Still from the mail, we have 18 and New Road. My people are seeing cable bridge for the very first time. That's from Udom Emmanuel, telling former President Olusegun Obasanjo. All right, Faith is here with us. I don't know exactly the story. Faith would like to bring his thoughts or opinion on based on what we've had so far.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I would like to talk on the cable bridge that His Excellency the Governor Udom Emmanuel talked to former President Olusegun
About. Now, is it really the first time quite many people are seeing a cable bridge? That's from Udom Emmanuel telling Obasanjo.
Okay, being that the cable bridge is at is along 18 and Doneyo Road,
okay,
and the people around that axis probably may be seeing it for the first time. The only set of Akwa Ibomites who are not seeing it for the first time are those who have traveled out of Akwa Ibom, gone to Lagos, Abuja, and outside the country. So I think he was making that statement in reference to that.
Now, is it really okay for a governor to make such a statement from your own perspective, sentiment aside, to a former president who came in, telling that this is the first time my people are seeing a cable bridge? How did the Akwa Ibom people get this particular story or report, or like call it description, from the governor to the former president?
Okay, so just like we've been discussing on the way forward for a better Nigeria, the image or the perception we give to ourselves is what people take of us. So just like in time past where Akwa Ibomites were known as servants, especially people who bore a kaite or kon, but Governor Akpabio came to rewrite that story. So I feel he shouldn't have said it that way, because just like the media has taken it now, they make a bad perception of it.
Okay, let's just assume the media, because I'm yet to know if exactly he meant it this way or he said from a different perspective, and the media I just had to bring this particular. Okay, now let's take a look at the cable bridge now. Now, going to Lagos, you see the cable bridge which is sustained at the particular point whereby we have the arches, we have the ship, because the main essence of a cable bridge is to pave way for ships,
yes, sir,
to make their way, and still on overhauling and haulages and every other this thing. Now, can we really say that this is actually, from the pictures we've had so far in pages of these papers, that this is actually a cable bridge that a state at this 21st century should have?
Okay, I read a documentary where the Nigerian engineering professionals went to this site to check it, and they had a conversation with the contractor. So the contractor said that in the blueprint of the project, that it was just meant to beautify.
Just a design.
Yes, for aesthetics.
Not just the hanging bridge.
No.
It's supposed to be a cable bridge.
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at this now. Obasanjo coming to Akwa Ibom to see Akwa Ibom people behold the cable bridge for the first time. Now, what message will Obasanjo go back with based on what he's come to see the governor do and say about the bridge and his people?
Okay, while I still read this story, I came across a part which said that His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo was not supposed to be in Nigeria that day. He had a conference outside the country. But then Governor Udom Emmanuel reminded him that some time ago he visited the state, and the governor explained to him the process going on with the road, that he was still uncertain whether the road will be completed. And President Olusegun Obasanjo assured him that he will complete the project, that he has faith in him. So that when he reminded the President Olusegun Obasanjo, he opted to come and commission the project.
Anyway, all the same, because politics can always bring out so many words. Okay, thank you very much, Faith, for coming on to share with you your thoughts on this particular issue as well. Thank you, and have a lovely day.
Thank you very much, sir.
President's reality show.
Alright, esteemed viewers, you've heard from all the housemates based on what we choose to do to ask paper review. We've had stories from The Punch, we've had stories from The Nation, The Guardian, The Censor, The Mail, The Ink, even Vanguard newspapers as well. Now we just had to engage the housemates on these. We talk about national issues and the need to be aware, to create this awareness. We had to engage the housemates on these today, not just as a group, but as individual, because the task is getting tougher and ahead. You've heard from them the ability to interpret the stories they've read so far based on national dailies. We never chose any of these topics for them. All we did was to provide them the opportunity to pick any of the stories of interest, going through all the stories of the paper, and you've heard from them as well. It's just left for you now to get to the website, do justice to the voting once the voting line commences. I believe what your favorite housemates did their thing. It's left for you now to give them the support. For today, this is what we call it a wrap. My name is Aaron Ayara. Keep watching Presidential TV. Don't go away.